You know, every sport has its legends, those moments that are so wild, so unbelievable, they sound like something someone made up. Well, today, we're diving into one of those stories that just happens to be 100% true. It's a story about a national championship, a last-second touchdown, and a simple counting mistake?
Let me ask you a question. It's probably the most fundamental rule in all of American football. How many chances, how many downs, does a team get to move the ball 10 yards?
4, right? It's football 101. First down, second down, third down, fourth down. It's the rhythm of the game, the rule that everything else is built on. Every single fan knows it.
But what if, just imagine, in the final seconds of a huge game, with a championship on the line, the officials just kind of lost count? What happens if a team gets a fifth down? Well, it happened. It actually happened, and the fallout changed football forever.
So let's get into it. This isn't some complex story about a controversial penalty or a bad spot. Nope. This whole thing, this massive controversy, boils down to a simple, almost unbelievable math error.
So, the date is October 6th, 1990. You've got the #1 team in the country, the Colorado Buffaloes, taking on the Missouri Tigers. And in a wild finish, Colorado scores a touchdown on the very last play of the game to win it, 33-31. It looked like a miracle comeback, a story for the ages. Or so it seemed.
Now, to really understand how something so basic could go so wrong, we have to rewind the clock. We need to go back to a time before all the technology we take for granted today. Welcome to football's analog age. Back in 1990, college football was a totally different beast. There was no playoff system. The national champion was decided by polls. That meant if you lost even one game, poof, your championship dreams could be over. The pressure on every single game was just immense. And here's the real kicker. Whatever the refs called on the field, that was it. It was final. There was no instant replay, no booth review, no way to go back and fix a mistake no matter how obvious it was.
So how in the world did this happen? Okay, let's become the replay officials that they didn't have back then. We're going to walk through the last few seconds of this game and pinpoint the exact moment where 1 + 1 stopped equaling 2.
So here's the setup. Colorado is down by 4 with just 41 seconds left. They've got the ball on Missouri's 21-yard line. Their undefeated season, their shot at a national title, it's all hanging in the balance. The stadium is going absolutely insane.
Okay, follow me closely here. First down, incomplete pass. The down marker guy correctly flips it to show second down, no problem. Second down, a short pass. But, and this is it, this is the moment, the guy in the sideline forgets to flip the down marker. It still says second down. The next play, which is actually third down, gets wiped out by a penalty, so they have to replay the down. But since the marker still says second down, that's what they replay. The error is now baked in. So what should be fourth down is played as third. It's another incomplete pass. The game should be over right there. Missouri should be celebrating. But because the marker says it's now fourth down, Colorado gets one more play. A fifth down. And on that ghost down, they score the game-winning touchdown. It's just unbelievable how one tiny human error completely unraveled the end of a major football game.
After the game, you'd expect excuses or some complicated explanation, right? Nope. The head referee, Johnny Greer, said it all with 5 simple words. No spin, just the brutal truth. We simply blew it.
As you can imagine, the moment the game ended and people realized what had happened, a complete firestorm erupted. The final whistle had blown, but the controversy was just getting started. And what you saw was a tale of two completely different worlds on each sideline. For Missouri, it was just pure, devastating heartbreak. They felt they were robbed of a victory that would have defined their season, maybe their careers. And on the other side, for Colorado, it wasn't exactly a joyous celebration. It was awkward. Even their own coach basically said, yeah, we got an extra down we shouldn't have. So you have one team crushed by an injustice and another with a win that just didn't feel right. So naturally, everyone started screaming for the conference to do something. Overturn the game, give the win to Missouri, anything. But the Big 8 Conference came back with a decision. The result stands. They admitted it was a grievous error, and they suspended the entire officiating crew, but their hands were tied. There was literally no rule in the book that allowed them to go back and change the score of a game because of a ref's mistake. The error and the result were permanent.
But here's the thing. Even though that result on the field could never be changed, the impact of the fifth down game would be felt for decades. This one colossal screw-up actually became a catalyst that helped drag the whole sport into the modern era.
This game became Exhibit A. It was the poster child for why things needed to change.
Anytime there was a debate about using technology in sports, someone will bring up this game. It was the ultimate cautionary tale, the perfect, undeniable proof that human error could cost a team everything, and that a safety net was desperately needed.
You can literally draw a straight line from this one botched play in 1990 to the game we watch today. The fifth down game fueled more than a decade of arguments and experiments with replay. And finally, in 2005, the NCAA officially adopted instant replay. A system was finally in place to make sure that a mistake this big, this obvious, could never, ever happen again.
So what about Colorado? Well, they went on to finish the season and win a share of the national championship. It was a huge moment for the program. But that title, one of the greatest accomplishments in their history, will always be talked about with a giant asterisk next to it, a permanent reminder of the phantom down that saved their season. Ultimately, the fifth down gain leaves us with this really interesting question, one that goes way beyond the football field. When the people in charge make a fundamental error, when the rules themselves break down in front of everybody, what's the right thing to do? What does playing fair really mean?